We spent the whole entire time in the backyard following Mama Cat around. It ended up being a 3-day rescue. Hi girls and their cats, I'm Jenny. I am a hairstylist living in Bedstuy, Brooklyn, and these are my babies. This is Kevin, and that's Miss Ceiling Dion, but I call her Dee Dee. So I had another cat, Dexter, the love of my life, like my first pet, and he passed away 3 years ago. And about a month to the day later, I found 4 days old kittens in a abandoned planter in my backyard. So at one point, I was at work and there was a storm that was coming, and I was so worried about the cats. And the storm came, I rushed home to the backyard. The cats were soaking wet in the planter, and Mama Cat was just like staring at me like, what do I do? I had already made a little shelter in my backyard. So I picked up the kittens, I dried them off, I put them in the shelter. I went to bed that night and I came back and the kittens were gone. And then about a week later, I was hearing meows. I called Heidi, Wrangle's cats, and Dana and the cats. Dana and Heidi came over. We spent the whole entire time in the backyard following Mama Cat around. There was a small hole in between my neighbor and my roof. She had moved them all in between the rafters in the ceiling. It ended up being a 3-day rescue. I ended up then fostering Mama and the 4 cats. I kept Kevin and Dion. I think after a loss of a cat, you grapple with like, what is the right time to get like another cat? And then there they were. She was the friendliest out of the litter. She just like wanted to be on top of you all the time. She's just such a sweet girl.
She's very sweet.
She's
my goodness.
so sweet.
It's
Oh my God.
my love.
I know. She's so sweet. She's like, do you have food? We named it Ceiling Dion because we found them in the ceiling. And he's actually named after my neighbor Kevin. Kevin actually had to take out one of the recessed lights in the ceiling. Dana and Heidi were like on the other side of the rafter and they were like, move left, move right. And then he finally got his hand on him and literally like pulled him out of the ceiling, out of a birth canal almost. And so he is named after my lovely neighbor Kevin. He has big emotions, I would say. He gets very jealous of his sister. He likes to be by me often. Oh, there is the belly. He's gotten really into the face swatting when I'm like not paying attention to him. He's a little bit of a bully to her. She's always like a really good sport. He will stare death eyes at you from like the edge of the bed if she's on my chest. He just like does not like it at all. He just likes to be the baby for sure. Are you my big belly boy? My cats have always been big rounded eye kitties, and she like really has that like beautiful like almond shape. She loves him. She is like constantly grooming him and he's constantly trying to wrestle with her. She's a very vertical cat. You'll catch her in meerkat every once in a while. If there's, you know, noise out front, all of a sudden she's like on her hind legs. When I'm on the toilet in the morning, she's just like up all the time, like reaching for pets. She loves to be vertical. I call her my little licker. She grooms me. We had a Q-tip incident, so I have to be like really good with putting Q-tips in the covered garbage at night. She ate 2 once. Saw it on the way out. And this is also the first time I've had 2 cats together that were like litter mates and bonded. It's so many hours of entertainment. My best friend will like call me on a day off and be like, did you watch Housewives? Did you watch this? What are you watching? I'm watching my cats and taking 4 million videos and pictures of them. What do you think I'm doing? And I'm not even kidding. Every time I come home, they are sitting, waiting in the window. They're pretty cute. So this rug, I was upstate in the Catskills staying with a friend and we went thrifting, and in the town of Roscoe, I believe, there was like this weird pop-up and it was like Wayfair returns. This rug was like $20. It's like washable. And then like some fun cat art. This is from one of my best friends, Shindler. And then this is actually my old cat Dexter, and my brother saw this on Instagram and picked a picture from the many photos I had of Dexter and made him into an astronaut. So this is Dexter. I wanted a tattoo after he passed away. Her name's Hannah. She's the owner at Vestige Tattoo in Williamsburg. And I sent her some pictures. It looks exactly like him. And I just like love that I get to like look down and see him like staring up at me. And then I have this cat lady, little leopard. So these are ones from when they were kittens. From All the Bad Cats. I love the little X for the butthole. I think it is like the cutest thing in the world. Remember I was talking earlier about round eyes and the like true cat eyes. Like he really, I feel like got that in the illustration. This is my ridiculous over-the-top cat stroller that I inherited from my coworker Rachel, who has 2 Maine Coon cats that are so big they didn't fit in this. So it became mine, which is very nice. And the cats, strangely enough, really enjoy going outside in it.
How often do you go for walks?
Not too often, but on occasion when it's a nice day, I'll bring them and walk around the neighborhood and sit in the park with them for a little bit. It garners a lot of attention. So we spend a lot of time here. When I come home from like running errands or something, they are most likely cuddled here in bed together. And man, it is pretty cute. They love a cozy bed and they love to cuddle. This I saw on one of my favorite cat accounts, Baxter and Ollie.
This is great for enrichment. Every month they get something
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
What do you do?
Because he will like rip a toy apart, so like they never last.
That box is pretty exciting too.
Yeah, right? It always the boxes.
What kind of litter box this is?
I use the Tidy Cats Breeze system. It's pellets and then there's like a wee pad underneath, so the pee gets filtered through and collected, and then the solid kind of sits on top, and the pellets, I guess, help take the moisture out of it. So you just kind of scoop. The smell is pretty minimal. People say that you can wash them and reuse them, but
The litter?
yeah. I know, but I'm not
doing
there.
all that?
Yeah, I'm not there. I know that they usually say a litter box for every cat, but New York City. I foster through Dana and the Cats. So when I have fosters, I will do a smaller litter box in my bathroom. I really love fostering. They are not necessarily like the biggest fans of the kittens, unfortunately. But the last one I had, I feel like we're making progress because the time of introduction to tolerance was only 2 days. So they've been into this. Purina One, True Instinct, protein rich. It looks gross, but they like it. The smalls I loved, but sometimes if I like forgot to bring it out of the freezer, they'd have to have dry food choice. So I feed them like a dry kibble in the morning, and then they get this usually at night, but we'll give them the good stuff this morning.
Lead the way, guys.
Are you ready? Okay, let's go. So she usually eats up here, and then he eats here. But then at some point, they always switch bowls.
I think it's gone, bud. I think you were too late. Butthole reveal. Put that away.
It's not that kind of video, Dee Dee.